Alright, hey guys, it's Kyle. I am doing a review today on a product that I just bought. I actually think it was on Kickstarter a while ago, and I was on Facebook. And I've been looking for ways to find studs. Like, I have a stud finder, like most people have if you've done any type of basic construction. But my issue is I do networking, cable management, and run Cat 5 in structures and things like that, and you don't always know, what's going on behind the wall. So in a big wall like this, we have 8.5-foot ceilings. So I was able to find 2x4s. That's fine. You can use any stud finder can do that, right? This thing though, this thing is called a Walabot. It's pretty new. And it was on Facebook. Everybody gets bombarded with those ads. If you're not on Facebook, that probably means you're young, because I'm like 38, and so younger people, whatever. Not everybody's on Facebook. It was this big thing. Now it's not. It's going away eventually. So I picked up this thing called a Walabot. I think it was on sale for about $50, and it's just a. It almost looks like a normal stud finder. It's got this sticky piece on the back that you can reuse. You can stick it to your cell phone, and you will need a smartphone for this. Right now, it only works for Android devices. So if you have an iPhone, I'm sorry, they don't have an app for that yet. But I think they're working on it. So I have the Galaxy S9 the Galaxy S8. I have the Galaxy S8, and it has a USB-C connector. And pretty cool. I didn't have to go out and buy a new wire or anything like that. Right out of the box, the Walabot people provided a USB-C to micro USB. Their device requires a micro USB connection. My device has a USB-C connection. So to get this thing to work, all you do, you take the USB-C, plug it into your phone. There's also another micro USB to micro USB cable that they provided, but I don't need that. Take the micro USB side, plug it in, right? So your phone's going to take a minute. It's going to recognize that something was just plugged in. I go to the Walabot app. There's an app you have to download for this. And it pops up and says, hey, we just noticed that you plugged something in. Allow the Walabot app to access your USB device. So you click OK. It connects. Just takes a minute, says we're connected. Says, what do you want to do? Are you looking at drywall or are you looking at concrete? I am looking at drywall. Now, every time you plug this in, you do have to calibrate it. And I understand the reasoning. It is a little aggravating, but there's different types of drywall, right? Different thicknesses. So hit the calibrate button. And what they want you to do is you're going to put this on the wall and start out. You're going to tell it to start. And you're basically going to go in a circular motion. And what it's doing is this thing is sending RF, or radio frequency waves. And you can see it said calibrated complete. All right, so there's 3 different modes. So it just takes a minute. It takes a minute for this to calibrate. It actually took me probably less than about 30 seconds right there, right? And so you have a couple of different options. You have a pan option, like if you're going to be going through a whole wall, you can click the pan option, and it tells you to place the Walabot on the wall. And it says to scan, press, and hold. So I'm holding it, and I'm just moving across the wall. And what this is doing, it is, number one, it's telling me how far I'm going. So I'm at 28 inches from where I started. And so when I stop, it gives me this little readout. So what it's telling me is there's at least 2 studs, and you can tell by the colors that are presented. I'm going to go to images. I prefer working on images. So right now, it's seeing that there's something dense, something solid back there. It thinks it's like a metal stud. Really, it's my bone for my hand. So if I take this now, and I put it on the wall, we're going to start over here. And so there, I know that there's going to be a wood stud somewhere because I have an outlet. So we're gonna move over. So number one, it finds the wire. So I know that there's an electrical wire, which I already knew that because it's a light switch. But it also finds that there's a stud. And it actually pretty much looks at how big that is, right? That's about the thickness of a stud. So the cool thing about this, as I move along, I'm going to come up to another one. There's going to probably be another stud, and then there's a stud here, and then there's an outlet down here on the floor. So it's probably going to find a wire here in a minute. Oh, there's a stud, and there's a wire. So the cool thing about this is that it tells me what I'm looking at, because with a stud finder, you're not 100% sure on, what you're actually looking at. And what do I mean by that? So you get a stud finder, you put it up against the wall, and once you get it up against the wall, it's just going to ding, right? Or it's going to show you lights. It may not tell you that what you are looking at right now is a stud. It could be a wire, it could be a nail pop, right? Because the little nails in here can give false positives if they've come back a little bit through the drywall if you have an older house. So what I'm able to do now, if I were going to be running wire in this wall, is I would know, I would mark exactly where those studs are. Or if I'm even mounting something, like I'm going to be using this probably to mount a TV above my fireplace. So I need to do some minor construction. I have to cut it open because it's a fake fireplace. I need to cut it open, put some studs behind it. Once I put some studs in, I can then use this to find those studs on the opposite side of the drywall and drill into them to mount my TV. But this is super easy, guys. Probably one of the easiest stud finders I've ever used. I love the fact that it's visual. It's not just a bunch of lights beeping or tone. Because I have different stud finders. I have the old one where it's just lights. I have a newer one, I think it's through DeWalt, where it actually says stud and it shows a line. But what I like about this one is it actually shows like the thickness of the stud. So I can come back and say, there's a stud here and it's this thick, and I can draw 2 lines. So then I know exactly where I'm going to be putting my screw in, and I'm not going to risk going out to the side or splitting a stud or just missing in general, and now I have another hole in my wall that I have to patch. So this is the Walabot app. Like I said, I got it online for about 50 bucks. I think it was on sale. I think they're like $69 now or something like that. I keep saying I'm a lot. So yeah, so get online, check them out, download their app, buy this little device. They have a couple different packages. I don't know them all. I bought the DIY package just because I'm leery. When I buy new things, if it didn't work for some reason, then I was only out 50 bucks rather than 150 or 200 or whatever that package is. But if you guys need a stud finder that is visual and you have your phone with you on you all the time like I do anyway, this hooks right up. It's got this sticky thing, connects right to your phone, and you just put this up against the wall and move it around. It's one of the easiest stud finders I've ever used. So Walabot, check them out. I'll post the link below, and I hope you guys have a great day.